I don't know where to go from that.
Well, yeah, you can't. You really can't.
I should have waited, but at the same time, I couldn't because
okay.
I don't remember what happened, but it just was a perfect conversation leader. Hello and welcome to Nobody Cares. I'm your host, Zachary, and today we also have, as always,
Ethan.
It's just kind of becoming something I have to do more than something I want to do.
Yeah, you kind of have to stick to it at this point. It's our ritual, you know.
You can hear it in my voice, too.
Yeah, there's no energy, so fair enough.
But I have no energy, so...
Same.
How are you?
I'm good now, but a lot of stuff has happened this last month. It basically in between the times we've recorded, I feel like a lot has happened, and I have a lot written down, but I don't know where to start.
And I know none of it, so...
Right. The first thing that I'm going to say, I ended up not uploading this week.
I saw.
That was due to the fact that I had a really bad mental breakdown Sunday, and I was
like, what do you mean
much.
by that?
That's the thing, right? I was just feeling absolutely miserable with my life in a way. I can't remember all of the specifics, but my problem is when I do feel like that, I always want to go to the core issue and figure out what's wrong with me and why am I feeling this way. And when I can't figure it out, it makes me feel even worse. So I was in one of those kind of moments. Not very fun. I don't know. So basically for the past week, I've been trying to rule out things of why I was feeling that way, trying to zone in on the specific things. It's basically trying to figure myself out to try to prevent those as much as possible. And I think one key factor is definitely the fact of the matter that I'm a workaholic. I came to realize this this week, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I kind of work all day, every day, and there's not many times where I get to sit down and just play a video game just because I want to. And I realized this more recently. And so what I've started doing is taking at least an hour of a day to just do something that is completely not work related. So example, I've started to go on walks outside, playing Gunpoint again, because that's a really fun game that I've already finished it, but it's I want to play this strategy game because I want to
play it again. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Sorry, that just reminded me of your new computer thing.
Yeah. That was definitely going to be another thing. That's a big step in my life for sure. That's kind of the problem though, because that's going to make me more productive than I already am. I don't know. There's just a lot of things.
Tell me your specs, Ethan. Let's talk about your specs.
I don't know my specs. That's my brother knows everything about that. In fact, he was the one who helped me through this process because I am not really
do you know RAM, what kind of core you have, anything like that?
I think it's 16 gigs of RAM, I believe.
That's good. Yeah. That's really good. Do you know what core it is? Like an i5, i7, anything like that? Or if it's an AMD?
I don't know at the top of my head, but it's really good. We did a bunch of research and everything, mostly John, but I feel like I would just order a computer if it was just me, but then again, I don't really know all the specs. I would need to do research, but John has been a huge help for sure in this process, which is one of the reasons why we ordered parts and are going to build it here next weekend.
Oh, so you haven't even built it yet?
No.
Are you missing something or just haven't done it?
No, it's just we're extremely busy this weekend. We're going to go to Medieval Times tomorrow to celebrate John's birthday. Yeah, also, John wants one of his friends here to help him out since his friend has built computers before multiple times. So he's kind of a key factor in this. That'll definitely help. So next weekend will just be better. I've just been really busy and a lot of stuff is going on, upgrades, mental stuff, trying to figure myself out. More recently, not really feeling the creativity and feeling burned out. I think that was the main thing. I just felt like I've been in this weird state ever since I missed the upload, Wednesday, because I usually upload weekly and I'm good about that. But I was so busy with everything else that I kind of stepped out of it somehow. I've been hanging out with friends a lot more too that I haven't talked to in months, and stuff like that. Stuff that I don't normally do. And I was trying to make the the thing about not staying up all night editing. I did that one time, and I was up for like 36 hours straight. Although the video got done, it was the fact of the matter of, yeah, I don't think this is the best idea, so let's try to not do this in the future if we can. But I think that was good for me to do because I was learning more about myself, like what my limits were, which does help. Another thing is, I thought the reason I was feeling the way I was feeling is because like I wasn't getting everything done that I needed to get done, so I made like an entirely new list. And that new list went on for a couple days, but then there was something that happened that made me miserable again, and I'm like, well, this is not the problem. It's not because I'm not getting stuff done. It's the exact opposite. It's the fact of I think I'm overworking myself. I think that's kind of the core issue of my mental breakdowns most of the time. And they haven't happened too often, but when they do, it gets intense. It's not fun ever. And it's a thing that happens sometimes.
Does it happen often, or?
Often is a strong word. I would say maybe once a month. Probably. And of course, there could be several reasons for this happening, but it's usually one core issue from what I've found. Another factor that I realized was exercise was a huge thing, because like for a week straight, I was like happy and like everything. Even at my job, my cleaning job that I don't like too much, some days I'm just like happy that I have a job and that I am making money, you know? And then it's like, there was one day, I think it was like Saturday or something last week, where I didn't exercise. Like I did everything except exercise, and like I just felt miserable. And I'm like, is this why? Because I'm not getting any physical activity?
Well, you are always welcome to come join me at my job. $11 an hour. I made $500 last week because I worked 54 hours.
Oh, I don't know if you knew about this, but I got a raise actually.
Ooh, how much you making now?
I'm not sure yet because I have direct deposit now, and so I haven't really looked at that recently.
All they did was say you're getting a raise?
Yeah, basically. And then I'm getting some extra money because I was there way later, like 3 a.m. Definitely getting paid extra for that. Oh yeah, for sure. That's the other thing. There's so many things that have happened at my work. It's kind of, I joined and it was 4 people, me, the boss, and then 2 other people, I believe. One person who was working there for 8 months quit. Like all of a sudden I had no clue. And so right before she quit, the boss hired a new guy. So basically, like as soon as that person quit, the new guy was there for like a couple days. And so now we're in this state where it's like we're there a lot later because of the new guy. And he's only worked there like a week or 2, I believe.
Is he just not doing anything?
No. He's not. He is working. He's just like slow compared to somebody who's worked there for a month like me. You know, I kind of know everything that I need to do and everything and all the specifics because it's not that difficult. It's just getting used to it. I was thinking about that. It's like, that's very interesting how like when I first joined, I was slow, you know, I was still learning. And now since I'm no longer the new guy, I'm in this different perspective of like, oh yeah, I was there. It just kind of brought it again into perspective of like, yeah, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Oh, and then I know I'm talking a lot, so I apologize. It's just a lot has happened. But another thing, I believe it was Thursday. We had an inspector come in when we were cleaning the ambulatory center, so we had to wear scrubs because, you know, that place has to be super duper clean because they're doing surgery there and everything. Not while we're there, because we're there at like 9, 10 at night, so nobody's there except us. And so we have to keep the place extra clean because, you know, that's kind of a very important thing. The inspector, which, you know, how there's always the stereotype of like the inspector is like some stingy guy who doesn't like anybody. The boss told me not to worry about it. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, obviously, like, she's going to say that. The inspector turned out to be like the nicest lady, one of the nicest ladies I've ever met. She was like always smiling and she had this like happy aura about her. And I'm just like, oh, the image in my head was completely different to what reality was. And I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad. And so we cleaned, and then she was watching us throughout that time we were cleaning. And then it got to the end of the day, and I walked out to my car. My boss walked up to me and told me that behind my back, the inspector actually complimented me to my boss. Now, she also said that the inspector never does this ever. And like, I'm one of the few people who like, she sees that I have a good work ethic.
See, my manager said something really similar to me. Like, okay, So my store manager, right? He's either the nicest guy you've ever met, or he can kind of be grumpy and mean and jerk. But it depends on his mood, sort of thing. And like it switches throughout the day at different times and all of that. And it's nothing personal. It's just who he is. So I was talking to a coworker who believes he hates her. He's been complimenting me recently, and it's weird. Not like in a weird way, like just in a normal, nice way. Like saying, "Hey, you're doing a great job, and I appreciate all the effort you're doing because you have a good work ethic," which is what made me think of that. Like he said, I'm a hard worker, which is rare to find. But it's just the weirdest thing hearing compliments I've realized.
I get that, you know, because it's kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Because in my mind, I don't want to be the guy who's like the boss is always complimenting, because that's kind of like the teacher's pet thing, you know. But at the same time, it's like if you're doing a good job and the boss notices, that's a great thing.
Speaking of which, I just remembered this. I guess in the last podcast, I had just started my new job. Well, I'm back at my old job after 2 weeks.
Hold up. What? Okay.
Wait, did I not tell you this?
No, you did not tell me this. To be fair, we haven't really talked since the last podcast.
I'm sorry. This was like a couple weeks ago, so I just assumed. Okay, so I lasted 2 weeks at that package handling place, and then realized I hated every second of those 2 weeks. I was miserable. So I'm back at my old job. Now I'm in warehouse instead of a sales associate. So now I'm making back to $11 an hour because they got a raise there.
Right.
And so last week I worked 54 hours because it was like every day because there's just two of us and it was coming up on like a big sale weekend, which is why I was saying you should come join me. It's like 5 minutes away, making good money, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm back there again. Now that I'm back there, I realized, hey, with a different job perspective, I realized this place is like amazing comparatively to everywhere else. Because compared to the worm packaging one and the package handling, like that place is amazing. I'd rather work a 50-hour week there than a 25-hour week at any of the other jobs.
That just proves how much we actually talk nowadays.
I know it's hard. It's difficult, you know. Like with college, it's just beating me down, and so it's like with work, which I was again working a lot of hours doing college stuff. That's why I ended up getting the whole Oculus Rift thing. Which, by the way, I just placed an order on an Oculus Rift for the people listening.
Fancy.
I know it's fancy.
Yeah.
It is. It costs like $500 for everything that I got.
Wow, that's expensive.
But worth it.
That's like 200 more, 200 or 300 more than my computer, all the computer parts, I think.
Holy cow, how expensive was your computer?
Like 700 to 800 in total.
Oh, I thought you said mine was more.
No,
I was like, wow, what did you get?
But yeah, VR is always a very fun experience every time I've tried it. I haven't tried it too many times, but every time I have, I'm like, this is amazing.
I've never tried it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've never tried VR.
Whoa.
And the thing I'm looking forward to most is playing Super Hot on it. Because there's Super Hot VR, and I got the touch with it too, so I got the two controllers.
Super Hot is an amazing game. And with
VR,
it's amazing I didn't
PC,
play it in VR. So with VR, that game is going to... that's going to be so cool.
Next time I have a free day, which who knows when that will be, I should have you over and stuff. When we both... It seems like Tuesdays are my day off, and then every other weekend.
Okay. I will make time out of my day specifically for that because...
It's going to arrive Monday. Today's Saturday.
Yeah.
So it should arrive Monday. I've got wall mounts for the sensor, so that will come tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for it. Here's hoping that the cords are long enough, though.
I mean, why wouldn't they be? What's the reason for it not?
You know, I never actually... I need to Google this real quickly. Well, this is something I should have looked into.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, I don't think you would be that far away from your computer if you're doing it in your room, right? Or are you gonna do it not in your room?
I'm doing it in my room,
okay.
but the cord is more for the sensors.
I mean, your room isn't that big, so it shouldn't be a problem.
All right, so the sensor cables are 8 foot, and the Rift one itself is about, holy cow, 13 feet.
You should be good.
Yeah, the only one I really worry about is the sensor one, because that's 8 feet. What's that? You know what? I'll do this later. Never mind.
Probably.
I was going to grab my tape measure and just real quickly measure out how far the distance is, because, like, I'm going to try and use a 7 by 4 foot section. I kind of moved some of the stuff next to my bed away. I'm trying to clear out the room for it. And nice. Do you know where my pictures are, right? My 2 picture frames?
Yes.
On the left side of that, close to the light, I'm going to put one sensor on the top. And then I'm going to put one sensor towards the bottom near my computer on the right side. And I'm gonna put one like in front of my door on the ceiling, kind of facing down.
Ooh,
I got
nice.
with the 3 sensor setup, I'll have full 360 motion and such.
We both spent a lot of money recently on things that are gonna be amazing.
You know, I'm surprised
For
how much
sure.
money you have to spend too. Like, it was so quickly that you got that. And there was so long where you didn't even have a job too. I mean, like,
Well, yeah, I've been saving for a new computer for a very long time. To be fair, I didn't really have all the money until like just recently because of my new job. That really helped a lot.
what's your average paycheck been?
$300 a week.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, but I work like 6 to 8 hours a day, so you know it's work. But yeah, one nice thing about my job is I can listen to something while I'm working, which is really nice. So at first I started listening to music and albums, but then I got kind of tired of that, and I'm like, you know what? Let's catch up on all the Cortex and Hello Internet episodes that I've missed for about 2 months. So I'm now caught up on that.
So now you need to start Adventure Zone, which I've been trying to get you to start. I got Max to start it. I don't know how far he's gotten into it now, but he loved it once he got into it. I promise you, dude. After season 1, it gets really good into story and stuff, and you really grow to love the characters.
I know, but I like to listen to more informational stuff than entertainment. Hello Internet is kind of that weird groove of where it's both.
I was gonna say, like, Hello Internet, I mean, they have some informational stuff, but it's kind of more of a philosophical.
I mean, every time I listen, I'm always learning something new. It's like, whoa, I didn't know about that.
You want a really fun ethical question?
Sure. Why not?
All right, so I was on Reddit, right?
Oh boy. Okay, now I'm scared.
And at one point, I discovered this thread of a guy, right? So in a motorcycle crash, he hurt his leg to the point where they had to amputate it from like halfway through the shin down. And he ended up getting the leg to keep, right?
Okay.
And the reason he did this is he took it home, and I think this is ethically like gray. He ended up having a couple friends over, cooking it, and making foot tacos. This is a real thing. Like, he provided photos of the whole process. I can send this to you. Yeah. That is a thing that happened.
Foot tacos.
And so my question is, debatably, that's ethical, right? Like, I mean, it's not unethical.
I literally got up out of my chair. Wow. Okay.
Like, I can't say it's unethical, because I don't feel like it is.
His foot.
It is.
But that's cannibal. That is cannibalism.
It
That's
is,
just straight up cannibalism.
But
there's
like,
no way around it.
At the same time, though, right? Like, it's cannibalism.
No, that
but
is.
not.
It's not. Well, it's not alive anymore. But that's not really the point. Like, how are you gonna argue that?
That's when it comes down to, like, what is it? Is it ethical or not? Is it unethical? Like, okay, Ethan, you amputate your foot or any limb, right? And they give you this option. Do you do it?
Do I cook up my leg and eat it?
Yes.
No.
See, and that's the question. Like, a lot of people said, like, it comes down to the conversation. If cannibalism was ethical, like, would you try it? So what you're saying is,
was ethical?
What I'm trying to get at is, so you're not willing to go with me, start a restaurant, right, where people donate different...
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this pod. This is the final episode. Zach's insane, and we're done here.
I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm just saying, like, it's not...
No, you're saying I don't want to do it. You're saying I want to start a restaurant, right?
Where other people could do it. I don't know. I'm just debating. I'm still not convinced one way or the other what this is. Like, it's definitely cannibalism. No one could argue oppositely. It's literally the definition. But the argument is, how ethical is it? It's not somebody else's foot. It's something that would have been thrown away anyways. It's not like he cut it off just to eat it. He lost his foot. So it comes down to, so he has this foot. Instead of throwing it away, he decides to eat it. Now, is that wrong? Like, how wrong is that?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you think cannibalism is wrong.
I think it's more than that. Because, I mean, the thing that's normally wrong with cannibalism is you have to kill people to do it.
Well, he killed his leg foot, whatever.
Well, I mean,
so
I just think that it's not like there's a difference between killing somebody or chopping off your leg on purpose, like specifically for that purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's through a series of events that happened. I don't know how ethically wrong that is.
This is why I love and hate gray areas, because it actually makes you think. Because it's like, it's not an easy answer, but I feel like it's an answer that could be easily solved. One argument is, oh, it's your leg, you do what you want. I mean, another one is, oh, it's cannibalism. Because it is. And if you think cannibalism is bad, shouldn't that make it bad as well? But it's not like you're hurting somebody else. It's
I think the problem with cannibalism is the whole idea of how you get to that point. I think in this specific scenario, it's its own thing.
I don't think it's nobody was forced into this, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Like, this is this guy's foot.
Yes,
and he offered his friends, like, the chance to do it with him. Like, it's not
to
like
also cut off their legs.
No, to, you know, to share.
Let's all cut off our legs together. I only get one leg. That means all my friends only get one leg.
Ethan,
Let's do this, guy.
You're not a fan of gross things, right? Is this something you want to see?
That's all. That's a gray area too. I mean, it depends on what it is.
He has the process of from when his leg got hurt, where it's a mangled mess, into showing him cooking it in a frying pan. So my question to you is, is this something you want to see?
This now my brain's battling. Before I answer this question, this relates to it. Did you hear that one Hello Internet episode where they talked about triophobia or whatever?
No, I missed that one.
Okay.
Or I stopped paying attention.
Then okay, never mind. Then that's not gonna work. Will I want to unsee this? This is my one question.
Well, I don't know, honestly. Like, I'm a person where this is just gonna go in white. Like, the first time I saw it, I was grossed out. But now that I'm looking at it again...
Well, see, this will be my first time seeing it, right? So...
Like, there's one picture of it just in a flower box. Like, that's a weird photo. Do you just want to see the part where they're eating the tacos?
Part of me's like, send all of it. Part of me's like, I'd rather not. I don't know. I'm stuck. Now now you put me in a gray area.
You ever watched The Good Place?
Yep.
Yes, you have. You know Chidi.
Literally, that's me. I'm not even kidding. It's too accurate.
I'll send it to you. I hope it doesn't give just the image thing. Like, nope, it just sends just the image. Cool. Okay, well, I sent it to you, so at this point...
Oh, okay.
See, the first picture's not that bad. And all of them aren't that bad, really.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's not as bad as I thought it was. Okay.
See, it's a good thing that it built up your fears, because now it's underwhelming. But it's just weird seeing it. And you should link this for those who want to see it, like a guy making foot tacos.
Huh.
And they didn't eat like a ton, like there's not a lot to eat of it, because, but it's just so different. Like, that is one of the biggest topics I wanted to talk about, and I almost forgot about it.
This person blurred out faces. You are the smartest person alive. You are great.
Well, yeah, you don't want your friends knowing you're a cannibal.
I'm just saying this. Yeah, that's still cannibalism though. You can't. There's no.
I'm not arguing.
It looks like a zombie foot prop. Honestly, I'm surprised I'm not grossed out by this. Huh?
Maybe you've gotten better.
Yeah, over the years, I've seen a lot more movies and TV shows where this is kind of it looks like a prop. It literally looks like a prop. It doesn't even look real. Which is the scary thing.
Desensitization is a real thing.
I'm done looking at it because now I realize that it is real. So
You should show John. John would love that, I feel.
If I show John, I'm going to say that it's a prop. And then
Why?
No, just to like...
Mess with him?
No, at first, yeah. I'd be like, look at this zombie foot prop that somebody made.
Why are they cooking? Oh, that's not a prop. Oh!
Right. Exactly.
No, but like, I don't...
But that's still... I still don't agree with it though.
You don't think that was right for them to do?
No, that's just weird. It's straight up weird. First of all, obviously, I think we can both agree with that at least.
I'm gonna talk to a couple more of my friends and get a poll on this.
Yeah,
I think
please
it's weird.
do. I disagree that they should have done it. I am not in support of this. That's my stance.
But now that it's been done, it's just kind of a thing.
No, let's not make it a thing, please.
My question is, do you think these people are bad people for doing what they did?
Oh, that's a entirely different question. Oh, gosh.
Is it? I mean, if you think the thing that they did is morally wrong, then wouldn't they be bad people since they did something morally wrong? Or
it's the fact of the matter. This is tough. This is difficult. Because on one side, it's like they're bad people because cannibalism. On the other side, it's like, well,
nobody was hurt during it.
Technically,
it doesn't
benefit
society.
Yeah, it's not like you killed a person in order to do it. That's the thing. That's the thing. You didn't have to kill a person to do it, but it's still cannibalism.
But I think the thing that really drives people to this being wrong is the fact that they have the idea that since cannibalism, it was considered wrong because in order to get to the point where you can cannibalize someone, you have to kill them or take off their limb or something. And that's kind of what made it wrong throughout a while, is in my opinion. So I think that this, in its own like isolated situation, I don't think this should become a regular thing, but in this isolated situation, I don't think this is wrong. But at the same time, it's a human, but at the same time, it's him. He ate himself.
I mean, what if what were you to think if a cat ate a cat?
Well, I think it was just an animal. Honestly, cats do that already.
I think you saying bad people. Okay, that's. I
don't think these people are bad people. I think they did something.
I don't think that they're bad people. I just think that they did a bad thing.
And you know what?
Truly, that's the thing.
So
I think
you're definitely
they shouldn't have done this, but I don't think that they're evil people.
Like, this isn't the worst thing they could have done. And it's
killing
not like
somebody is one of the worst things.
I don't know. I thought this was just an interesting thing.
Oh, it's one of the most interesting conversations I've had in a very long time. So I'm glad we talked about it and are still talking about it. But
I just also just love foot tacos because in the Reddit thing underneath, somebody said, "You want to trade usernames?" And I think their username was something foot tacos or something like that. Oh no, it's Taco Feet. His username.
There is no way we can't make that the title of this episode. How are we gonna top that? You really can't. You honestly can't.
Especially because nobody's gonna understand it. People are just gonna think, oh, they're talking about having tacos for feet. But when you listen to it, or feet tacos, I guess is the one.
Foot tacos.
You just
I
don't know. This has been on my mind all day. I discovered this morning, and
I kind of want to bring this up to my friends now. Just to
you
be like,
should, because
hey,
ethically, it's not.
So let's say, not show them the picture, but like,
I would keep that on your phone. Like, I would keep that link ready and just be like, "This is what happened to this guy." Explain that scenario and ask them, "Is that wrong?" Because hypotheticals are easier to judge than a real situation. I feel
that's true.
But
I think it should start out. I feel like it should start out as a hypothetical and be like, well, see, this one guy, right?
Well, the thing is, like, it also comes down to, like, this guy had this conversation with his friends beforehand. Like,
well, I would
way
hope
before
so.
the accident is what I mean. Like, way before the accident, they're talking about if it was ever ethical, in an ethical way, would you try eating a human? Like, in some sort of ethical way. And they had this conversation beforehand, and then this happens to them, and they had all said, yeah, I would try it. So now this happens, and now he had to hold it to them.
Well, yeah. Were they drunk when they made this agreement?
Who knows?
Because that would explain a lot. Honestly.
It was more of a conversation rather than, okay, guys, if this ever happens, we're doing it. You know, It's more of just like, yeah, I think I'd probably try it. He described the taste as like bacon.
That doesn't make anything better. That just makes the situation worse.
The thing that this reminded me most of is RimWorld. This entire time I've just been thinking RimWorld. How does this
remind you of RimWorld?
Well, in that game, if a colonist dies, your people have the option to butcher them.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I haven't played that game in so long. I forgot about that.
It's a fun game sometimes,
It takes a lot of time, though. It's a time
It does,
commitment.
and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard game. Soul Calibur's a fun game, the 6th one.
I haven't played Soul Calibur in a while. That looks really fun.
Once you get your computer set up, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm super, super excited. Next weekend, oh boy, it's gonna be...
Gotta take some time off from your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that...
Just be hey guys, I got a new computer.
I'm not gonna say anything on YouTube. I'm gonna say something probably everywhere else. I've learned it's like if you follow me on social media, you probably care about me in the sense of like knowing like what I'm up to creatively if like you're a subscriber. But
I still want like a personal social media from you. I like your channel and all, but I don't care about it enough to well, like I don't care about your channel enough to follow you.
Like,
if you were a normal creator, I wouldn't follow you on all these things. But you're my friend and I want to know what's happening in your life, so I'm following you, and then I get like this 17 long Snapchat thing. Hey guys, YouTube, right?
Fair. I mean, to be fair, you have my number, and like these followers don't have my number. You have an advantage. You can text me whenever. You
could text me whenever.
You know what? Fair. Fair.
Do you know anybody who actually listens to this podcast? I'm still.
Yeah, if I know a few of my friends do, at least. Past that point, I don't really know.
Well, at least they tell you they do. Maybe they skip through it. It's like, oh, this is a detail that was discussed. Okay, I'll mention that too. Hey!
Foot tacos.
Yeah, I mean, making tacos with your feet. I don't remember the conversation that well. It was kind of briefed over so quickly.
Okay. Speaking about YouTube, right? I had a very interesting experience this week of sending merch through the mail. That was a huge learning experience for me, especially since it had to go through customs.
Were you sending it like out of the country?
Yeah, England. So I had to fill out like a lot of info about the specifics of the things I was sending and like how much it costed and everything. It took a while, and I'll be honest, I procrastinated a tiny bit because I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. I'll do it tomorrow. So
how dare you? You're
I know, no, it's because of like I had a lot of stuff to do that day, and so it's like that's the only reason I would push something aside is because if there's like more important things to do. But yesterday, because today said so yesterday I was finally like, no, this is gonna get sent out today, and I got everything ready. I made a little bit of a mistake in the sense of I went to the post office at 5 p.m. like before I left for my job, and I got there and I didn't realize that they were closing. Otherwise, I would have never showed up. And so once I realized, I got in there, and about like 2 minutes later, somebody said something about closing. And I just felt instantly bad. I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have come here today because I didn't know that they closed at 5 p.m. I should have looked at the times. I just didn't. I didn't know they closed at that time. But they still sent the thing for me, and I apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were closing, otherwise I wouldn't have showed up. They're like, no, it's okay. What I'm going to say next is going to sound kind of egotistical, and this isn't how I want to make it sound, but I have no other way to make it sound like, oh, look at me. But basically, right, I have these wristbands that if you're a certain tier on Patreon, you get a patron exclusive wristband. And so 2 people were going to get one. One of them opted out of mail-in rewards, and I was like, are you sure about this? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Because I just wanted to be sure, 100% sure before I did anything. That was one of the rules I had with this whole thing. It's like, if I'm not 100% certain, then something needs to happen. Like, I need to be sure. Because first of all, you're sending mail across the country. I got to be sure everything is right, because if everything isn't right, it comes back to me, and that's a huge delay, and that's going to make me not only feel bad, but just it's not going to be exactly. Basically, patron wristbands, that's one of the things I sent. I also sent a signed script, because that's one of the things, and then a personal handwritten letter to the person.
What script did you send, by the way?
I think from now on, like whenever somebody becomes a patron, I'm going to send the script of the video that was like the most recent when they became a patron. So I actually sent him the Telltale script. So I thought that was a good idea for sure, because it was at that same time. I made sure to staple it so it was all together and then signed it. It's an interesting experience for sure, and I didn't think it would happen like so soon, honestly, but it kind of has. And I think it's good for me that it happened so soon, because it was a very, very good learning experience for sure. And I was smart enough to where like I copied all of the information I need for next time I send through customs, so that way I basically just copy paste, so that way I don't have to do this for like 2 hours straight trying to figure out specific information. So next time this happens, it won't be as much of a hassle, which is good. So yeah, it's fun. Very, very good thing.
I mean, now. So
yeah,
now everything's going to be good.
Yeah. So if you're sending to a different country, just remember customs is a thing, and you have to write down a lot of information that you probably didn't know you had to write down. So fair warning if you're sending anything overseas. So yeah, this whole thing has been a really cool experience, this whole YouTube thing. And speaking of YouTube, and like this relates to like the new computer, I got the keyboard and mouse early. And so I've been messing with it, and in my editing, I've done some key binds to my mouse with editing. So basically I have a bunch of buttons on my mouse, and so I programmed those buttons to do different things like splice, unlink, delete, ripple, delete. But I'm basically using all the buttons to do things. Instead of right clicking and then choosing it, it's just like one click to splice, one click. It helps so much. I didn't realize how much it helped. But man, once I get the new computer, it's going to be even faster than just having a mouse. I'm excited. Yeah, I have a blue keyboard as well. Like it lights up blue, dark blue. It's so cool.
Oh, wait, does it have gold and black on it?
No. It's just black. There's
I was
a little bit
gonna
of
say.
silver at the top because of the logo, but it's blue and black mostly. I really, really like it.
I thought maybe we had the same thing.
Nah, it's kind of weird because it's like ever since I got this new mouse and keyboard, my computer feels faster, even though that is not true at all. I don't know why it feels that way. Probably because like it's a little bit faster with editing because I don't have to right click to do most stuff now. It helps a lot more than I thought it would.
I like the mouse buttons. I don't do anything for like editing, but I don't do editing enough to do it for that.
Yeah, that's true.
But for other things like games and stuff, it's a fun. Those are really nice buttons to have. I only have 2. How many do you have?
Okay, what counts as a button? That's my question.
Or actually, I have 3.
I'm just gonna count everything that's clickable. So.
Or no. Okay. Besides like the left click, right click mouse button. Okay. I mean mouse wheel.
Is that a button? No, that's not. Okay. 8 buttons.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm using all of them.
See, I have 2.
And I was kind of like, no, I just want a normal mouse. But I'm glad I went with this mouse because it's gonna help so much.
That's the one problem I have with my mouse is I have like a back arrow, and that one just every time I'm on a web page, it will accidentally just back out of it.
Yeah. I also think that once I get this new computer, I'm going to look into freelance work because I know now with this computer, I can I barely have time to edit my own videos because it takes so long because the computer stutters and freezes and crashes like 5 times in one day and it's annoying. So the new computer is also going to help me be more open to other projects as well as like have more time to do other things. So overall, it's an upgrade that is very much well needed at this point. It's also very much well needed because I've gotten to the point where I'm so aggravated with my editing because it's always stuttering and being slow. It's like I accidentally make a slice and then I have to wait like 30 seconds in total to fix it. It's annoying.
Soon no longer.
Oh yeah. Just one more week. Just one week. That's just 1 week.
I'll have to text John later and find out your specs from him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll have to teach you what specs are and what they do and why they're important.
I know why they're important. I just don't know like this down to the core specifics.
Well, like there's only a couple I actually know. Like all I know is like graphic card, the core, the RAM, and like something else. I don't even remember what the other thing is. But like those are the only 3 things that I found like super important. Like the cores, it's like for computer with editing and stuff, you want an i7 if you get the ability to get one or something similar to that level of it. For graphics, I mean like a GTX 1080 is what I have, I think. Just stuff like that, you know. All right, what's your big topic?
We gonna go into this now?
Yes.
Big topic. Okay.
It's pretty late into the podcast. Don't want to make it too long.
Fair, I guess. Yeah. Even though it's monthly. First question. Have you seen CGP Gray's Walk in the Woods video, where he's walking in the woods on his second channel? Have you seen this video?
I have not.
You need to watch it right now.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How long is it?
I believe it's not too long. I think it's probably 3 to 4 minutes.
Like I was about to watch it one time, but then I ended up having to do something.
In fact, I'm gonna probably watch it now if that's the case.
Here, do you want to line it up?
Yeah, 1 second.
I sit through an ad. Do you keep getting those ads for that one guy for governor or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't like that guy. I mean, he seems like a nice guy,
right.
But there's just so many ads makes me frustrated.
Fair. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
And that's basically the video.
Is the rest of it just him sitting there?
Yeah. So, Zach, what did we just watch?
Okay, so I have to summarize this now.
Just like the basis, not like
the basis is
general.
him talking about attention and how social media and different aspects of technology and even other things have slowly been ripping apart our attention span, like all fighting to see who can have us pay attention to it, and how that slowly made us worse at attention and worse about thinking. Is that about right?
Yeah. The reason I wanted to show you this is because ever since this video, I have been thinking about this, which is why I feel like I've kind of made the step to every day walk outside without my phone and just like be free of technology for a little bit. And I think everybody should do that at least. And the shower definitely for me has been that for sure. But I feel like I need to do that more often because I realize that I'm always like on technology, and that's probably not the healthiest at all. I'm not taking the dramatic step like CGP Grey saying, oh, I'm gonna step back like entirely. And actually, like, in the podcast after this, he went into a lot more detail on his podcasts. Basically, like, he's going to stop listening to podcasts. He's not going to stop, like, making them and producing videos because that's his job. But, like, for him, yeah, it is. But for him personally, he's going to stop consuming technology so much. Mostly Reddit and Hacker News. Those are two things. And I think Twitter.
I thought you already got rid of Twitter. But... real quick, talking about CGP Grey real quickly, like, I don't think he posts enough to make this his job, does he?
Yeah, he does. He has his business.
I guess he has two podcasts. The two podcasts, probably.
His podcasts, I think, are one of the sources of income for sure.
I feel like that's probably the main source, because his channel doesn't post enough to be able to.
Right, yeah.
And when he does post, they're not long enough.
He has other ways to get income, I'm sure. I don't know. I think it's a conversation that everybody needs to have, for sure, about the fact that technology has been so integrated in our lives that we can barely step away from it anymore, and I think that is a problem for sure. I don't know, what did you think personally about the video that you just saw?
I think it's entirely accurate, considering I picked up my phone halfway through at one point.
Yeah, like for me, even I've watched this already, but even a second time through, I kept checking like the timestamp, which kind of like proves this point further that like technology is ruining our attention. And I think it is in some ways. I think it's great that we have technology and it's absolutely amazing, but overexposure is definitely a problem among a lot of people.
It's a debate to be had.
Definitely.
I have a lot of mixed feelings about technology. Well, on that note, I guess, what do we say?
You don't have anything else?
I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, the video makes a lot of good points. I mean, there's a conversation to be had, but at the same time,
for sure. It's just about like the attention economy in and of itself. I know that the video was like very general, but like the podcast went into like the very specifics of how like he talked to people specifically who their job was to keep people on social media any way possible, and that's a problem. I feel like kind of everybody's at fault in this scenario in some way or another.
I feel like that's saying there is fault to be had. I mean, like the attention economy thing is one thing; it's people's jobs to do that, but then it falls on people for actually falling into it. It's their fault for letting these things get to them, for being so easily distracted. And I feel like taking a step back from social media is not a bad thing, but it could also be considered like an overstep. Because I mean, I think I'm fine with how I am. Like, I mean, my attention could use some help, and I mean, stepping outside more would be a good thing. But sometimes you get busy, and there's so much things that you have to do on the computer now that it's not really like that's just what you have to do it on.
Right.
And wow, I talked really fast there.
Yeah. His thing was like he always got on Reddit and Hacker News, and that's mostly what he's cutting out, because that would always like take up all of his free time for sure. So that's what he's doing mostly. But podcast also another thing he's cutting out, which I think it's kind of funny how we're watching this and then we're doing like a podcast at the same time. I kind of realized that.
Well, I feel like
halfway through,
I don't know, I feel like regarding free time is whatever you want to spend it on. If you're not reading a book, I feel like that's not really as different as people would like to think than doing something on the internet, because either way you're just trying to entertain yourself, and most of the time I'm learning from when I'm on the phone. So I don't know, I just feel like that argument is debatable.
The reason he's bringing it up is because he's seeing a problem with him mentally in one specific way, and he's trying to figure it out.
So are you going to try and take a step back from social media at any point, or are you just...
I'm not saying that. I'm not going to go that drastic, but I am going to be more aware about how much I am on technology, and to actually like go outside and take a walk without my phone at least, and not listen. I don't listen to stuff in the shower. I make that a rule. It's like, no, this is time for my brain to be a brain and not consume media. So I don't know, I think boundaries. At the end of the day, boundaries and, balance is always kind of the key, for sure. I don't have anything else to say on that topic. I just thought it was a conversation that needed to be had, because kind of deals with our society as a whole and the future of our humans.
Make a video on it. Have your conversation. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I don't like disagree, but I don't fully agree either.
I mean, that's just your personality.
I mean, I just bought an Oculus Rift. Like, I'm obviously not taking a step back from technology anytime soon, just because like it is so much in my life. That is a lot what I do. I learn. I do a lot just from technology. Most of my entertainment, the way I learn, connecting with other people. A lot of it, like this conversation, is happening through technology.
I'm not saying technology is bad. I'm just saying once it starts affecting you, that's when you know that something isn't right, for sure. And that's what Gray has done. So good for him. He's trying to figure himself out.
Well, thank you for listening to Nobody Cares. I've been one of your hosts, Zachary, and this has been our other host, Ethan.
Yep.
You know, I'm getting a lot more energy for some reason. Like, something just snapped in me. Like, all of a sudden, I'm just...
Interesting.
Like, I'm super tired, but all of a sudden I'm just talking really fast because I don't think I'm actually thinking about what I'm saying. That I'm just kind of saying what's coming into my mind.
Kind of me always.
Well, no, yeah. Thinking about what you're saying is difficult.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to explain something.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. End of podcast. Thank you. Yeah, bye.